Hey guys, Fujoshi Commentary here, and we're gonna start our Yaoi News episode 2, and let me tell you, we've got a lot to cover, so stay tuned. So the first one on our list is more talking about some of our more classic yaoi and boys love, which is Sechikai Hatsukoi. And if you don't know what Sechikai Hatsukoi is, it's by the same person who created Junjo Romantica. And what basically we all know that if you are familiar with the title, there is the first and second season, the OVA, and then the film. Well, Funimation announced this past Tuesday that on March of next year, they're going to be releasing the home collection with the OVA, the film, and the 2 seasons predecessor to their library. It'll be their first boys love, official licensed anime. And I feel like because they're pushing the date so far up that they plan to dub it as well. There's been no confirmed reports on any dubbing, but I feel like knowing Funimation, how they like to get an anime and then they like to start immediately simu-dubbing it, I think that we will find a dub. I just hope if we do get one, we will get a good dub. And so the official home video release for that will be on March 7th of next year. Hopefully there'll be more information by then. I really do hope we get at least maybe a dub lineup. This is actually pretty exciting for the Fujoshi, especially the Western or the American Fujoshi community, because this is Funimation's first official boys love anime adaptation that they've been able to license and get a hold of. As we know, Gravitation was under Nozomet. Now, while it was pretty obscure this year, I believe it should be watched at some point after you've gotten down from the either Yuri on Ice hype or the Keijo hype or the All Out hype or Drifters hype, Nanbaka, and that is like a sort of prison-ish bishi anime with all of your cool boys love undertones and teasing and fan service stuff, but with this extremely bright animation scape. There's some news that is set to come out for next year with this anime. As we know, season 1 is ending soon. It will pretty much end by the end of this month, but there is a set for a season 2, and we've also got word recently that there is going to be a TV event special with the 4 main characters, and this will also feature all of the voice actors in the Japanese dub of this anime from the main characters are going to sing the opening song live. So this is going to be pretty big for the Fujoshi-esque BL community. It's going to be taking place in Tokyo Shinagawa venue in April 29th. So that's gonna be a really big event. And since it's already been greenlit for season 2, there's also a good sweet bit of goodies for this anime as well. As you all know, Funimation also has been dubbing this anime, but it's not as far as yaoi or shonen ai. It's just seen as fan service or a prison anime. This is being dubbed as it is in Japan, but from the actual website in Japan, the official Nanbaka website, the first episode of the new season, episode 14, will air for free on their website, so you kind of get to get a feel of the second episode. All of that will be linked down in the description below if you want to check it out. I also will link where it is on the Crunchyroll website, where you can actually stream the sub of this anime. So the next bit of news isn't actually something that is boys love related, but it is actually related to censorship in Japan and how it's not too different from how the Americans and families are in America are when they see something that they don't like on broadcasted television. So according to this report from Japan's Broadcasting and Ethics Program Improvement Center, which is basically America's broadcasting network that's in charge of ratings and how far they can push things on TV, what can go on midday to prime time, or what can go on from prime time to late night programming, you know, all that sort of stuff. But in Japan, over the 1,000 complaints that were filed last month, there was a few particular comments that were actually highlighted and above, and one of them was the actual showing of genitalia. This is how the comment was worded. In late night anime programs, the genitals of a boy character around the age of an upper elementary school student were shown over and over aside from infants and toddlers. Isn't this something outside of society's standards of wisdom? And in Japan, most schools define upper elementary schools like 5th or 6th graders, so like basically middle school kids. And this actually kind of stirred up a little controversy because a lot of people in Japan are thinking that this is more about the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure season, Diamond is Unbreakable, and it's basically kind of highlighting that in that one episode, I believe it was in the 34th episode, where they were battling, Kawajiri is like fighting against Hayato, his opponent, and there's like a shot when they're fighting of like Hayato's like balls and the penis, you know, showing. And I mean, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure isn't exactly like a G-rated show. If anybody who's ever read the manga or like watched the anime, it's a very, very, very like in-your-face adult themed show. Like it can get really dark. It's extremely metrosexual, some even edging on the terms of gay, but hey, it's all there. And if you don't know what metrosexual is, it's basically just very effeminate, very like out there, flamboyant, but you still have like, it's more of an appearance thing. Which, you know, the author, he expresses that he loves that about the show. It's bizarre. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So it kind of seems like their kids are watching it and they didn't expect something to happen. Now, while this particular complaint is not like broadcast of who did this complaint, they do actually have statistics on who made these complaints. And such follows as 65% were male, which I find kind of shocking because in the United States or in Western culture, typically the people who complain the most on like television programs are usually like married women or housewives or women with children, you know, who come with the complaints. The demographics are kind of shifted. 34% were female in Japan. And there was 1% of, you know, unidentified, which they were either anonymous, might have been trans, you know, who knows. Also, there were people more in their 40s who were in the complaint zone, which is typical of most, like, complaints and broadcasting companies. 35% of the viewers were the ones who shared their concerns, who were of the age of 40, and about 29% of them were in their 30s. 18% were in their 50s, and 14% were in their 20s. So obviously, like, either the 50-year-olds don't really care all that much, and the 20-year-olds pretty much have what they like. So it's not really a big issue. 7% were in their 60s, so apparently I guess the old people don't really give a shit. And 2% were like in their 10s. That's pretty funny. 2% were like in their actual like teenage years, because teenagers aren't gonna bitch really about like TV. That's the last of their concerns. Some of the more anime related like complaints you see and criticisms from the program, like the BPO, is basically the scene in Detective Conan where they like eat the sushi off of her body, and then like the scene in Mr. Osamatsu where he's like masturbating, or it's implied he's masturbating, and then like the scene in Yokai Watch where there's like a suggestive banana eating, which I can understand that because Yokai Watch is like a show that is for children. At least here in the US the demographic is more for children, and it seems like in Japan this is more of a like child-ish, you know, more of a child-friendly show. So throwing those innuendos in there, it's really nothing new under the sun. Even in US culture and like some of the more stricter ones, they throw in like innuendos for like adult jokes and stuff, and some adults are offended, some get it, some giggle, some are just outraged. I think it's pretty much what you're gonna see, as well as in Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron Blooded Orphans, like the violence, which I mean, if you know anything about the Gundam series, Gundam is violence. Like, that's kind of just at this point self-explanatory. That's more of a general like audience sort of anime, so you can't really be mad at that. And the main characters of Prepar being shown in swimsuits in the ending. So I guess swimsuits are not suitable for work anymore. We learned that with Dead or Alive, apparently. There's actually a physical link to the Japanese like forum archives of like the BPO and everything, and it actually has some of the scenes that they're talking about in its full entirety. I'll link that in the description below. So if you haven't had enough of your anime sports fix, if you haven't had enough with your All Out, with the rugby anime, Yuri on Ice, and the ice skating anime, and you feel like you need your fix, for next season or next series, you know? Well, I got some good news for you, because a soccer sports anime, which already had a first season that was going about, which is based on the popular manga by Tsuyoshi Yasuda, basically you're gonna get your second sequel, so you can catch up and or continue with the second season. It's already been announced for 2017, combined with the second and third issue from the Weekly Shonen Jump magazines, that the soccer anime Days is actually going to get a sequel. They haven't really revealed anything new about when the date's coming, if it's gonna be like in the winter months or if it's gonna be in the summer or the fall. It's still sort of up in the air, but it has been confirmed that it is going to be a second season, and I personally have watched a few episodes and I like it. It's got pretty much the standard sports anime quota. I think y'all should check it out. I'm pretty sure it's on Crunchyroll. It's streaming on Crunchyroll, subbed in the US. The first season aired July 2nd. It's 24 episodes, pretty much a typical season of anime. I think you should watch season 2 when it comes out. If I get any other reports, I'll keep you guys up to date on them. So in this bit of news that we actually have, I have it's sort of more of a voice actor. And this is a voice actor I'm actually familiar with. He actually voiced Nobu in Nana. And this is, I guess it's kind of big news. I feel like it probably is in Japan, and if you follow subs, it's probably big news for you. But the actor Hiroki Narimiya, I hope I said that name right. He's basically retiring from the industry of acting and voice acting because of his cocaine use allegations. Now this is pretty big. Basically, according to the article, it says that Hiroki Narimiya has announced last Friday that he is retiring from the entertainment industry. There was a Friday magazine article that was published about Narimiya's use of illegal drugs, him and other voice actors. It's like, I guess you could say it was a written exposed article about the industry and its use of illegal narcotics. Basically, when hearing about the article, Narimiya's team and their agency responded with them being groundless, they were baseless. He felt extreme resentment towards the allegations, and he also said that he has absolutely never used drugs. A handwritten statement that was faxed to a news agency on Thursday stated that a friend of whom he had trusted from the bottom of his heart had betrayed him. His agency is actually shocked that he was retiring from the industry, and the agency also added that due to social obligations, it's investigated the claims and the police have interviewed Narimiya. Also, they have discussed the proposal for him to retire several times. So it's in the air, but I'm not sure how big this is going on in Japan, if people are still trying to dig things up on him. He seems to be just kind of leaving the industry. It's I ain't got time for this. It could have been that the industry was a key role in a lot of his stress. Could have been why he was taking drugs. It's still allegation and speculation up in the air. And I could see why this does come as a sudden shock, because he just did the live-action Assassination Classroom film, as well as doing the live-action Ace Attorney. So he seems to be pretty much on the roll. It seems to be he's at his peak right now, and he's just leaving it all to just go. This is a very interesting story, and I'll keep you guys up to date on any new developments that happen with this. And for our last bit of news for this episode, I wanted to give y'all something that's a little old but still gold. Now, y'all remember the Black Butler sequels and the Black Butler films and the Black Butler's plays and everything Black Butler. Now they're actually doing another film, which is the Atlantic arc, which was announced in the January issue of Kodawa's monthly news type magazine. And it's actually revealed that there'll be 2 new cast members on Saturday for the Black Butler book of Atlantic. It's the new film that's been in the talks for a while. And the new cast members are Sechiro Yamashita as Edward Midford. He's been in anime such as Drifters. He's in the new Drifters. He played a small role in a few episodes. He's played in Food Wars. He's been in Mob Psycho, Mobile Suit Gundam. He's been in a few good anime Yama no Sume, White Album. He's been in Token Rambu, Prince of Stride, Orange. He's been in Fairy Tail Zero. So he's got some notoriety and credibility. He's on board as Edward Midford. And Kaito Ishikawa, who we know as Genos from One Punch Man, is going to be playing as Ryan Stoker. And if I say that right, I hope I did. Ryan or Rain Stoker? I think it's Ryan Stoker. The cast is going to be the same from all the other subs beforehand. You know, Daisuke Ono as Bassi, Ken as Ron Knox, Jun Fukuyama as Grell. You know, all of the main cast we've all been going with is going to be in this film. It's set to open on January 21st. So hopefully we get what we want out of it. And this actually adapts to the luxury liner arc in the manga, so if you want to kind of get freshened up on what that's going to be like, I recommend reading that arc of the manga. It's actually still going. The manga's ongoing, so you get like every month, I believe, a chapter comes out. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video to be to your liking and helpful, please show it by liking this video, subscribing to my channel for more yaoi news, and commenting on some news you think I should cover in the next episode. This is going to be a pretty consistent series as I get like anime, yaoi, boys love, you know, kind of news around. I do plan to be more geared toward boys love and yaoi, so if it's not particularly shonen ai or yaoi, if it's in the boys love genre or something that's related to the sort of fan service of that aspect, I'll probably cover it. Every now and then you may get like an actual like kind of off topic from boys love, as it kind of may loop back or affect the industry as a whole, but overall I try to keep it as boys love and sweet as possible. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see some of the other awesome stuff that I have, click on some of these cards that I have up on the screen. They are here for your pleasure. I also did a previous yaoi news on Super Lovers, Nakamura Asumiko's adaptation live action of Doublemint, and some other stuff going on with the whole yaoi verse. So with that being said, guys, peace, love, and stay groovin', humans.